Yes, now we're on the air. Hello everyone, welcome to our webinar. Today we're going to talk about kids education and technologies. But first let me introduce myself. My name is Paul. I'm Business Development Director at DEVAR, and this is my colleague Anastasia, Publishing and Licensing Director at DEVAR Company.
Hi everyone, it will be great. Let's go.
Okay, thank you Anastasia. So, I think we have to start, and let me start with a little introduction. We think that it's important to know more about digital learning. Whether we agree with it or not, technology is a big part of our lives, and school-age children today are very much digital natives. In order to understand the priority goals and of parents, teachers, and those who create educational products for children, we need to point out the main aspects of kids' development. At this point, we would like to have a look on different age categories, educational trends, and benefits of use of digital technologies in the educational products. Let's get started with the short introduction with the numbers and figures, and who are the digital natives. Digital natives are children born in the time period from 1995 to 2012. Today, digital natives represent the largest demographic group in history. By 2025, digital natives are expected to comprise as much as 75% of workforce, and this is important. For these reasons, as well as their comfort and facilities with digital technologies, digital natives are already having a tremendous impact on the business landscape. So, who are the digital natives? They have never known the world without computers or smartphones. Their age now spans from preschoolers to teenagers, and they are digital adapters. They have integrated technology seamlessly into their lives and use it from youngest age. 25% of children aged 6 or under already have their own mobile device, and nearly half of them spend up to 21 hours per week on their devices. By high school, half of all students carry a smartphone to school with them every day. Overall, 25% of all K-12 students take a smartphone to school every day, according to their parents, including 8% of students in grades 3 to 5. More than half of parents, 52%, agree that schools should make more use of mobile device in education. Almost a third of parents agree that all schools should require mobile devices in the classrooms, and 35% of parents say that mobile devices are a necessity, not a luxury. So, now we have a picture that parents aren't waiting for schools to make the move to mobile learning. Already 45% of parents report that they plan to buy or already have bought a mobile device to support their child's learning process. Technology and content companies, along with M-learning advocates, have much to offer to better educate the mobile generation. And it's clear that education offers rich opportunities to develop and enhance the mobile medium. So this is the introduction part with facts and figures, and the word goes to Anastasia with the second part of our presentation.
Thank you, Paul. As for me, I would like to give a short overview. I'll try to speak shortly because having degree in teaching makes it rather difficult for me to speak shortly about the fundamental learning aspects. And let's see, what do we have if we talk about children development in general. The following points: physical, the way in which a child develops biological and physical functions, including eyesight and motor skills. Social, the way in which a child interacts with the others. Emotional, the way in which a child creates emotional connections and develops self-confidence. Language, simple, the way in which a child communicates, including how they present their feelings and emotions both to other people and to themselves. Cognitive skills, the way in which a child organizes information. Cognitive skills include problem solving, creativity, imagination, and memory. They embody the way in which children make sense of the world. Adult mission at this stage is to take care of the child's development in full, in accordance with the characteristics of the age. So if we talk about 3 or 5 years old children, at this early age, the prevailing way of thinking is I-mindedness. The intellectual area reserves perceptual constancy of different items, I mean shapes, colors, size, environmental awareness, and a sense of a self. A child is getting able to sort and match the objects of similar shape, color, and size. He or she even has a general understanding of group of objects, animals or plants as an example. So, and as for adults, their mission is at this stage is the following. They have to keep children in positive state. They have to stimulate motor skills, smartly stimulate motor skills, I'd say so. Teach children good habits and healthy living, keep children interested in game playing activities, create an interesting environment for kids' cognitive development, enhance children's perception of the environment, develop curiosity, and develop basic intellectual skills. Still, the main educational activity at this age remains game, and the thing that children need from play is to have fun. The best way to play with children is to provide an interesting environment, of course. And play is important because it's also a way how your child learns and explores feelings. We're going to show you some example of educational books for this age group that we have. It's Healthy Living and it's Rosa's Bad Habit with a license called Kikoriki. These books makes children learn what is a good habit and how it's difficult to get rid of the bad habits. This journey, the favorite characters take children to an amazing journey to the world of habits and proposes lots of different activities within one single book. So we can develop fine motor skills by coloring, and then we can see what we have as a result. Also, we can control the character. So, one more time, development of fine motor skills. And also, we can read different rules of good habits. At the same time, it's up for parents to read them. And it's also great because at this stage, their morphological skills develop as well. Talking about the elder age group, from 5 to 7 years, children intensively develop in intellectual and emotional areas. They start expanding their knowledge about objects and phenomena. Children in this age group might show rapid development of mental skills, learn better ways to describe experiences, and talk about thoughts and feelings. They have less focus on oneself and more concern for others. The adult's mission at this stage is to introduce children to the generally accepted rules of communication with the other children and adults, develop creative thinking in different types of activities, develop oral language skills, short-term and working memory, cognitive flexibility and self-regulation, problem solving, and in general they have to help children to get a universal background for future school education. Regarding this age group, we are going to show you our vision on how ABC and numbers have to be, what kind of introduction of ABC and numbers has to be done to digital natives, once again in our vision and in our point of view. So everything is super interactive and speaks in the same language that the child does, so the digital native does. Here you can see some numbers that are visualized as a real character that can speak to children, and also here we have a voiceover, but we cannot hear it because it's not connected. There is a poem told by this number. Talking about different activities, we can write numbers right in the book. We can have our parents read this poem to us, and we can get acquainted with numbers in such a way. If we talk about early childhood education, it developmentally prepares students for K-12 educational experiences. And this exposure helps students build the necessary skills they will need to utilize in learning opportunities as they embark upon the journey to become lifelong learners.
Okay, thank you, Anastasia. So this is the great part, I think, an essential part to understand the educational process of early learning, of early age groups. And now we're going to talk about the main educational trends from now on and for the next few years. First, I would like to mention the social and emotional learning, SEL. This is the unique approach. A few words about it. Both classrooms and workplaces are diverse with the people from different backgrounds and cultures, you know that, and giving strong reason to develop pro-social behaviors in children. Social emotional learning, ECL, provides the foundation for positive learning. Effective ECL helps students to develop 5 important skills. First of it, self-awareness means understanding one's own emotions, goals, values, limitations, strengths, and how they are all interconnected. Self-management, the ability to regulate emotions and behaviors, to manage stress and impulses. And here we want to show some product freshly developed by our own, like a demonstration. Yeah, thank you.
So, if you are a very busy child, this product is for you. So if you are always late for kindergarten and for meetings in your kindergarten, I'll definitely recommend it, because with the help of it, the child can get acquainted with time, and they can plan their day. So an early version of Google Calendar. There are lots of different tips for them to put on it with the help of the magnets to plan their own day. So at one time they can learn hours, minutes, and numbers at the same time, and the second time they can learn to self-manage their own day, and with the help of augmented reality they can reveal fun, amazing experience.
Okay, and the third of these important skills for children that we have to develop with the ECL approach is the social awareness. Empathy and compassion for those who are different. This is really important. Recognizing social norms in various situations. And the last one is relationship skills. The ability to maintain healthy and rewarding relationships by communicating clearly, actively listening, cooperating, resisting inappropriate social pressure, resolving conflicts, and asking for help. And this is great ability. Responsible decision making is also the important skill that we have to develop in our children in the modern generations. Means that we try to learn them to make choices by considering ethics, safety, risks, consequences, and other people choices. One approach to teaching SEL is by directly creating lessons that describe social and emotional skills, followed by opportunities for students to practice these skills. SEL essentially teaches important social and life skills that help children to be mindful when they interacting with others and the world around them, promoting long-term mental health and happiness.
I would like to add one more thing, that I would like to talk a bit about my personal favorite approach, educational approach. It is called interdisciplinary approach, which consists of several cross-curricular disciplines, or the bringing together of separate disciplines around common themes, issues, or problems, and preferably in such a way that the disciplines interact with one another and have some effect on one another perspective. Because no knowledge is permanent unless we correlate one subject with the other, and at the same time we cannot meet in the real world math existing far from physics, So correlation is essential because it makes knowledge stable, enables to acquire knowledge in a short period, develop interest in the reader, makes knowledge broad-based, and in general, learning is connected and directly related to real-life experience. In my opinion, it's simply great. And for example, we are very excited about this idea, and we have a project called Archimedes. It's an it's a character, a digital character with artificial intelligence, and the children have the possibility to ask questions in real time, different ones, not only connected with his own life or his own laws. So it's a great opportunity for children to have such kind of communication even with a digital character. How do you think, Paul? Do you like it?
I really agree with that, because the next part that I wanted to light up is also connected with the cross-curriculum approach. And this is great. And you all know these four letters, I think it's STEM. A few words about it. So STEM is a curriculum based on the idea of educating students in four specific disciplines: science, technology, engineering, and math, in an interdisciplinary and applied approach. So this is rather the same that you mentioned in the previous part. Rather than teach four disciplines as the separate and discrete subjects, STEM integrates them into a cohesive learning paradigm based on the real-world applications. And I want to show a few examples how we can integrate AR, VR, or other modern digital technologies in the STEM approach. AR/VR helps to accommodate a risk-free environment in the school classes, and we all know that this is a real problem and issue for teachers in the classrooms, because a lot of traditional experiments in STEM involve potential risks. Fire, electricity, or corrosive substances make the teacher limit and the extent of experiments, or even skip them altogether. With the help of the immersive technologies, a teacher can show all of these great things in a safe environment. Use of AR/VR enormously cuts costs, and this is true because the costs of developing immersive reality are nothing compared to building a professional lab. In this way, high school quality STEM education is not limited to affluent areas and wealthy educational institutions. Cutting costs leads to one of the most important issues in the education now: democratization of education. AR/VR can provide quality access to opportunities to a huge mass of students that would be impossible to reach otherwise. STEM education, especially biology and medical research, happen to get involved with the ethical dilemmas. You know that, like animal testing or patients' right are one of the examples of how traditional education can be morally questionable. With AR/VR, students can get involved in a lot of experiments in a cruelty-free and ethical environment. And we're gonna show you one of these examples. It's ophthalmology professional set, right?
Yes. In total, we have 7 sets devoted to each part of human body. My favorite is an eye, so I always show the eye. Sorry. So we scan a toy with the help of the app, and we can interact with this toy. So we can turn the 3D model, we can point on different parts, and now learn some information about it. Yet, but not also, we can also see it in 3D sectional view, and once again learn all the parts about it, and after which we can switch to a short quiz to learn if we are good at anatomy. Let's check how.
Let's check that.
I'm bad at anatomy, sorry.
Okay, thank you, Anastasia. So let's move on. And what's also important that a lot of STEM scenarios are just impossible to show in traditional education. There is no way to take students to a trip to Mars, for example, or put them inside of the blood cell. With AR, VR, we can do impossible things, and impossible is nothing. About the approach with the space journeys and other anatomy journeys, we showed it in our previous webinar. Immersive technology can change STEM perception. For a lot of students, math, physics, or biology are boring and difficult to understand. But with immersive technology, we can change the image of these subjects so that they become much more attractive to our kids. And the uh, second demonstration part, this is our product names AR coding game.
So there is a short instruction how to play in case if I forgot. The main idea of this coding game consists in the following. So we have a board and we can play in a physical game, but at the same time we can try some codes, some actions, to take some actions in augmented reality in order to make some correct actions on the board itself. So I just try to program him, so I'll make some steps and then I turn. In general, we have 100 levels. There are always different rewards, and it learns elementary coding for children.
So this product is just teaching of the basics of STEM for children. Coding is a modern trend right now, and this is one of the approaches how to enhance the product. Instead of just one, for example, scenario, with the help of augmented reality, we can add more than 100 possible scenarios and different additional content, which is great, I think. And this is all with the STEM part and the educational transport. And let's talk about the digital transformation, right?
In my opinion, digital transformation is always vital, and I'll explain why. The first phase of digital transformation in education was a relatively disjoint process. With schools deepen their proverbial toes into cloud and web-based services, adding computers for student use, and favoring digital textbooks via tablets over physical books. These initial steps have since become the baseline by which many schools now operate. Now, the next wave of digital transformation involves the technologies that can make the educational experience even further. The Internet of Things, automation and adaptive learning, augmented reality, virtual reality, and mixed reality are a few of the technologies poised to further evolve the learning process, mirroring digital transformation trends in other industries. What's important is that digital natives need to be taught differently because they naturally understand digital technology, computers, and the Internet. So we should use methods that are tailored for their needs. The rapid evolution of digital is having a significant impact on corporate industries and is serving to provide exciting new opportunities, maximize efficiencies, and increase collaboration. As the educational sector itself becomes more competitive, digital transformation is now becoming a necessary means of survival for school publishers and other manufacturers of educational products, as this new digital world requires educators to adapt and adopt digital technologies, methodologies, and mindsets.
So, my next part is about the digital natives and how to develop their essential skills. So, what will be helpful in these regards? Earlier, we discovered that the digital natives are collaborative and connected. They can get in touch, with everyone and everywhere, right from their mobile phones. And digital natives thrive on instant gratification and frequent rewards, preferring games over reading, for example. Today's students prefer images to text, which may help develop visual spatial skills. And apply of augmented reality or virtual reality is important here in this particular example. So what contribution the marketplace, like you are, can make the digital transformation for schools? If you want to become a leading player in this field, your company needs to follow top 3 technological trends of digital transformation in education, by our opinion. First is a personalized or customized learning experiences. With the approach to meet learners' needs, availability, and preferences, the personalized learning has come onto the scene to initiate custom e-learning and teaching methodologies. Learning platforms, software, and digital devices are together creating countless new ways to modify education. It's not the previous century, like 20th century. For example, educational infrastructures are providing their students with digital devices like desktop computers, laptops, and tablets. Innovative learning, game-based, mobile-based, and video-based. Interactivity adds attraction and attention to the learning process with the board chalk talk method. Learners are losing their abilities to learn, understand, and grasp. This innovative trend of learning catches the learner's attention by delivering educational truism in the form of videos, games, and etc. to make difficult learning concepts enjoyable. Similarly, mobile-based learning offer learners the flexibility to access educational content seamlessly across the multiple digital devices with their convenience. And the third one is usage of virtual, augmented, and mixed learning experiences. Technologies of AR, VR have opened new gains towards learning resources. These technologies help students to learn more effectively than traditional classroom methods by overcoming language barriers and accommodating visual learners. This technological trend offers immersive learning solutions not only to teaching professionals but also to doctors, dentists, surgeons, etc. With the approach of AR/VR, students feel immersed in audio, video, gaming, and other forms of content created via these technologies. And these technologies transformations maximize the e-learning portfolio and give new pace to educational sectors. So, this is all, and a few words to Anastasia.
Thanks, Paul. One such example is the augmented reality environment created by DEVAR. Today, it is a safe edutainment platform for kids and family, and it substitutes the top educational apps on the stores. It combines 2 approaches to deliver the knowledge: digital content provided by funny characters and assorted automatically in accordance with the child's age and skills, and physical content, which includes augmented reality books, toys, and consumer products. It's designed to develop all the types of human perception by means of augmented reality, photo, video, audio, and text content. Also, this platform implements machine learning to provide kids with relevant content that encourages them to learn while playing games and having fun. It keeps track on the of the child's progress and achievements and allows to concentrate on the subjects that can be on the subject and fields in which the child lacks knowledge. This educational environment can be used at home or can be integrated in schools, where it serves as an extracurriculum activity. That's what I wanted to say about augmented reality created by DEVAR.
Okay, and this is all?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And I think the last part of our presentation would be the resume, the short resume of all that we said. So, to make and create the successful educational project and product, you have to follow the main trends of it. You have to consider all of the target groups that you are focused, and keep an eye on the technologies and this proper application. Let's get started with the questions. I think we will have a timeout just for 2 minutes, and after that we will try to answer all of your questions. Okay, as far as I know, we have 2 questions for now. It's one from Brazil. Do you already have data that indicates improvement of students in schools that introduce the DEVAR books in the pedagogical content? So, at the moment, we're trying to actively integrate our content, educational content like encyclopedias, to different curriculums all over the world, because we have about 45 countries in our geography, and this is a good point. And recently, by now, our anatomy book plus this anatomical set that we introduced were tested on South Korean universities with the students of medical universities. By the week, we will have the correct data, official data of the improvement of the learning process with it. But we have a lot of different researchers that saying us that the AR and VR are really positive, have really positive impact to all of the stages of perception and development and educational process. And the second question is, is there a risk in facilitating instant gratification instead of pedagogies in the value delayed benefits? Okay, this is a hard question, I think, but what we can say that now modern children are really different. They're really different. They are digital natives, and we repeat it again and again during our presentation. And they prefer gamification because they are familiar with that from early ages. So this is the point, and this is the model that they understand in the first place. So we think that it's questionable, but this is the great approach that may work in at this time with this new generation of kids. So, do we have any other questions? If not, I think we can pull over. Okay, great. So, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
It was a great experience, and have a nice day, evening, and everything. Bye.